Hello, everyone. I guess I should put me on screen there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. This evening, we are going to make a scrapbook layout with the uniquely creative Floral Archives. It was their January release. It is an absolutely stunning collection. And we're going to do a single page layout that you could easily add on to this one to make it a double page. But because I have to be a little quicker this evening, it's just going to be a single page. All right. So now before we get started, we're going to take a look at the 12 by 12 collection pack because it is really, really pretty. And then I'll show you the materials I'll be using, and let's get going. We got some new product to show you as well. So let's change angles of the camera here, and let's take a look at the 12 by 12 Floral Archives collection. It's got a very vintage look to it, beautiful florals. So this is a 12 by 12. This is the insert page. And of course, when you flip that over, look at all those florals you can fussy cut out. All right. This is all about florals. All right. So lots of fun, beautiful colored florals that you can fussy cut out. All right. Now these are the papers. Now I've already selected the papers I want to use for this evening, but I'll show you everything. All right, so you're going to get two of each design. So this is the front. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, that is a quick and simple page. Put a couple of 4x6s there, and you are good to go. And then use the embellishments. I mean, it's easy peasy. All right, so beautiful. And the back side is this beautiful kind of dusty rose distress look, which is awesome. All right. So there's that one. Then we've got this one. Look at the texture of that peeled paint on there. Again, really easy. You could definitely put a couple of photos here. Really simple. I'm just showing you some quick and easy layouts with these papers because it's so lovely. Look at like three little pictures there, and really easy to do. Use the creative cuts to finish it up. On the back side, take a look at that. Love that with the kind of the old tape on there. I really wanted to use that one tonight, but I'm not. All right, then we have the cutaway sheet, which is going to have more florals on there. And then the back, take a look at this one. So many pretty colors in there. I love it. And then I think we're getting into the papers I want to use this evening. Okay, so then there's this one here. I think that's the B side. And then on the front side is more cutaways, those lovely vintage florals. That would be really nice with a postage stamp, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, if you had a die for that. And then some of the other goodness from this collection. And then then you're going to, sorry, I'm using some of this stuff here this evening. Then we have this one, which I absolutely love. We're going to be using that. And on the flip side, look at those florals on there. Again, really easy to create a simple page layout. I'm going to grab, 4x6, a 4x4, another 3x4. I mean, how easy to embellish with some florals, all right? So I love the way that Uniquely Creative creates their paper and designs their paper. It makes it really simple to put quick and simple layouts together that look amazing. And then we have this paper. This is the one that I'll be using this evening, all right? And then on the back side is this lovely kind of yellow pattern paper, which I've already taken part of to do some die cutting, all right? So that's what we're going to be using now. I'm going to grab these two papers because these are what I'm going to be using. And I want to show you some of the coordinating product that goes with this. Obviously, we're going to kind of dive into the creative cuts, all right? So I'm going to flip this around. There's a lot of florals in this one, nice bright colors. There's dragonflies, butterflies, even a beetle, but the beetle is pretty. All right, it's not like an ugly beetle. It's actually quite nice. So some good titles in there as well. So we're going to be using that. The other thing that came in with this collection was this die, and this die is called Branch with Leaves die. So just a nice little dainty branchy stem. All right. So what I've done already with this one, I've trimmed them out from that lovely yellow pattern there. So I just took a strip and cut out a bunch of them. All right. So we're going to be using those. All right, so that's all I'm going to be using. I'm going to use a little bit of die cuts. I'm going to bring in a little bit of ink. And then I'm also going to bring in a couple of the new photo mats. All right, so I think you saw them, but these are the brand new square photo mats. So you've seen me before work with the rectangle ones from Uniquely Creative. These are photo placeholders. All right, they're perfect for when you are doing layouts like myself, and you don't have your pictures, or if you're doing albums, especially if you're gifting the album, then people know, you know, exactly what size photo to put in there. So they just had the rectangles in the 5x7, 6x4, 3x4, and 2x3s. Now we have the square ones, which I'm really excited about because I love me a square photo as well as square cards. They have 4x4s. And then let me just grab the other ones here. They have 3x3s and then 2x2s. And then, of course, we have the matching dies to go with them. I don't have those matching dies right now, but they are available. And what they will do is you can get either the scalloped square set that will work with the squares, all right, for all three sizes and have a scalloped edge. And then there is also a stitched square that will work with all the mats for all the sizes in the square size and actually complement that scalloped one. And then we have the same in the rectangle to do all the sizes in the rectangle, which is awesome. Okay, so again, I am making a single page layout just because I'm a little pressed for time, but you could definitely add on to these papers because you get two of each of the pattern papers in the collection pack. All right, so, and I just really like this collection pack because there's really florally ones, there's really vintagey ones, there's neutral ones. All right, so you're gonna go get a lot out of this package, so with different looks. So all right, so I'm going to start with this lovely piece here. And I'm going to get my photo mat here. And we're going to cut the ledger strip off of there. I forgot to grab my trimmer. Okay. So we're going to take the logo strip right off of here. And I love the color palette in this one. It's just soft. Beautiful, just beautiful. All right, so ledger strip is coming off. I mean, logo strip. All right, now a lot of these strips will have little patterns on there. This is just a soft kind of green. I never throw these away just in case. All right, so just hold on to that. So we have this one, and then I'm going to bring in this one as well. Now I'm going to cut the logo strip off of this one. And I love this pattern on here. It is a little bold, but we're just using a little strip of it. And this is what I mean. You could definitely do this into a double page because of this. Okay, so where do I want my strip? I'm going to go from this side here. I want a little bit of that leafy action there. So I think if I do a 2-inch strip, I think that should be good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. So we have these two pieces. I can put my paper trimmer away for now. And you know, layouts don't need to be complicated. Just work with the pattern papers that you have and the embellishments. I know that sometimes when I do layouts, they may be a little complicated. I like a lot of stuff on mine, but not everyone does. But so I'm gonna try to keep this as simple as possible. I'm just gonna go grab an ink. I think I'm gonna use fossilized amber. And I just want to bring in just a tad bit of yellow. I think actually fossilized amber might be a little dark. I'm going to grab scattered straw. Changed my mind now that I see that in the light. Yes, scattered straw is going to be the better choice. All right. Okay, now I do need to clean off my blending brush as I've been doing stuff all day. And I did use this in my last video that I was creating, and it was using fossilized amber. So I just want to clean this just so that it takes majority of that color off. All right, so I'm just using a J cloth here and just kind of taking my brush and kind of getting that excess ink off. I think we're good now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to add just a tad bit of gold or yellow to this. I just want to yellowfy it up. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm using it as a word. All right, so we're just going to just grab a little, and I'm just going to do a little fade of there. All right, so you can see I've changed the look of this color to make it work a little bit better with this here. All right, so it's a wonderful thing, ink, isn't it? All right, so there's that. All right, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm gonna just grab a little bit of this, and I might just, add a little bit just to brighten it up, and it's gonna pull in this a little bit so that we really have kind of a matchy match going on here. All right, so I'm just going to just bring in some of that color. I'm not going heavy, and I'm just bringing it here and there. All right, so we're just bringing in some of that. All right, let's. All right, so now we've got this kind of yellow. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we're using these yellow little leafy patterns here, and I wanted it to be kind of all matchy match, all right? So there's kind of darker tones of yellow in this pattern paper, and that is the whole reason. So I'm just gonna bring in just a little bit more, maybe in this. And it's just a very light blend on here. And distress inks are perfect for this. The 49 and Market dye inks would be perfect for this because they're more of a translucent. I wouldn't go and use oxides to do this. Basically, we're just tinting our pattern paper. That's all we're doing, okay? So, which is kind of cool. All right, so I am quite happy with that. And I think I'm going to just give a little water effect on this. Just, I wasn't going to, but all right. Because this ink is reactive with water, we can splatter it, and now we're going to have water drops. All right. So we're just adding to the texture of this. So wherever I put my ink, I'm going to just add a little bit of water droplets. I'm going to let that, water do its thing. And then we're going to mop it up and then dry this. All right. So I'm just going to give that a second to do its thing. Oopsie. And then we will get to putting this all together. All right. So that's had some time to do its thing. So now I'm going to just help it out here and just dab it with my J cloth here. And you can see I've got little water spots on there. I don't know if you can see that. I can see it. I'll bring it up to the camera. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this now because I do want this good and dry before we start doing anything. Like I said, it's just a little subtle effect on there, but if I bring this up, you can see I have little water droplets in there, and I've got little, can you see them? Little water droplets in there, and then I've got water droplets in there. It's very subtle, but it just adds a little texture. Okay, so now we're going to add this strip here, and I think I'm going to rough it up. All right, so I'm going to rough it just with my scissors. If you have a paper distress tool, that would be the better option. Just saying. But I'm just going to use my edge of my scissors here and not rip the paper or cut myself. All right, let's go ahead. Now, if I wanted to, I could rough the edges of this entire layout. However, It looks pretty with the roughed edge, but as soon as you put it in your album in the page protector, you lose that element. This will still show up because it's on top of the paper, so I'm not going to worry about that. But if you want to, you could definitely texturize the edge of this. I'm not going to. I am going to go ahead and glue this strip down onto the left-hand side now. Okay. Now you could use adhesive. I'm just using glue because that's what's on my desk right now. And we will line this up right to the left-hand edge. So if you wanted to make a double page layout, you could definitely take the other full sheet of this one and lay it to the left. All right, so here's this one here to kind of have a cohesive look. You could also even add this one here where we cut it from and then add another kind of pattern on this side. You could take this one and put a strip on that side to make it that cohesive look. Again, you are going to have to take that yellow ink to tint this, do the water splatters again, and that would make it all lovely. All right, so, but we're not going to do that today. I'm just giving you options. All right, so we've got this now. Okay, we're going to take our little leafy pieces here and we're going to glue them down. So we're going to give this, it's almost a tone on tone. I should have probably not glued right to the edges because I should have tucked some of these in. But we want just a kind of an array of, actually, maybe I should put my photo mat down. What I wanted to do is put my photo mat right here. This is going to be our star photo. We might put a couple of photos down here, but this is going to be our star photo. All right. So I'm just wondering, I probably should have one coming. I might have to split these up. All right. So let's just put some glue. I'm going to start. This is just, I haven't tacked this photo mat down. I am just placing it there so that I can place these. And these are all going down flat. So we're just kind of building up on our background here. All right, so. And you can see by adding that yellow, it really kind of blended with this pattern paper. And tuck that little leaf underneath there. We're getting this kind of tone on tone. All right, so there's that one. And this is a great way of using kind of leafy dyes. You could do a solid leaf. All right, so I'm going to actually trim these into single leaves or stems. And I should probably have my tweezers. Makes it a little bit easier. All right. And we want all these down flat. All right. So then I'm going to have this one coming from the top. So let them overhang. You can always cut them off afterwards whenever it's overhanging. All right. But we want to keep all these kind of branches in down this area here. All right. I'm going to move my camera just ever so slightly. There we go. Now you can get the full effect here. All right. So we're just going to continue on. So I think I cut this little stemmy leafy branch 5 times. Oh, that might be a little too much. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to cut these ones. Perfect. All right, let's go with that. All right, 5 was enough. This is a good filler die as well. Me and my florals, I'm always loving filler dies. This is a good one. And I think as crafters, if you're a card maker as well as a scrapbooker, you know you have lots of dies. And it's always nice to incorporate those dies, not only just on your card making, but also on your scrapbooking. So this is just a great way to do that with a simple little leafy branch. Okay, so I just want to make sure that those are all stuck down. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess now. Okay, so there is kind of a lovely kind of, it almost gives you that embossed effect, right? So there is that. Okay, we're gonna grab our our photo holder, and I am going to now attach that right there, and I'm gonna pop this up. So I'm just gonna grab my foam adhesives. And I'm going to bring those foam adhesives in because we're going to be protecting things in, right? So all right, so let's make sure we don't have any of those stems just kind of hanging loosely. We want to ground them all underneath there. All right, I think that went on straight. Yeah. All right, so now that's our focal point. Now, like I said, I may add a few pictures down here. I know a lot of you like more than one photo on there, but I just want to kind of give myself what I wanted to do with the florals and such. So this is the creative cuts in here. And so when I think I want to put photos here. I should probably. All right. This way you'll all be happy that there's more. Okay, I'm just going to do it. All right. And again, I'm using the square photo mats because I just love them. All right. So let's put this down here. And then this little 2x2 we can pop up. Again, being careful of where I'm putting my foam adhesives, bringing them in a little bit in case I want to tuck anything. Okay, so I like to overlap my photo mats. All right, so there we go. We've incorporated 3 pictures. All right. Now, you could definitely add another one, but I'm going to do all the decorating. We could maybe put one there if we wanted to, but let me do my decorating first, all right? So there is our 3 photo mats. And now we're going to go through our ephemera here. So these are the floral cuts, or the Floral Archives creative cuts, all right? So you can kind of see, you can see I got dragonflies and a beetle there and florals. Dump them out. All right, so these are all the fabulous things in there, which I love. All right, lots of bright florals. So because we're working with these golden tones, I thought, golden hour would be lovely. And I think I'm going to bring this over here. And now I'm just going to fill this up with florals, all right? This is where our pop of color is going to come. Everything else is pretty muted in terms of that kind of yellowy, aged look. And now we're just going to pull out the florals. So let me just pull out, all the different florals that we have here, the leaves. We'll worry about butterflies, beetles, and dragonflies after. But let's see what our options are. These creative packs, you get always 2 of everything. So there's the beetle. He's not so ugly, right? He's pretty. If a beetle can be pretty. Oh, here's a lovely little tag. I'm wondering if we should use that one because that's going to bring in that pattern. So I'm just going to put that to the side. All right, there's lots of goodness in here. Collection might be a nice one because it's in the same color tones. All right, floral, floral. I'm not going to worry about the hearts right now. The arrow is kind of cool too. Florals. Focus, Brenda, focus. I'm not saying we have to use all of these florals, but at least I have all my options available then. And I suppose if, oh, there's a bumblebee. Look at the bumblebee. Oh, he is gorgeous. You want to save some florals because if you have the collection pack, you're going to want to make sure you have florals left over. So I tend to always just kind of focus on using one of all the florals, but I may change my mind on this one. We'll see. Okay, I think those are all the florals now. Okay, I think I'm good now. Put these all back in there. There's so much goodness in these packs. I love them. Love them, love them. Okay, so let's now add some of this beautiful, these beautiful florals. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of concentrate around this title first. I just want a few florals coming from the edge of the paper here into our layout. So I really like the curvature of that one. So I think I'll start with that one there. And I'm just dry fitting everything first, and then we'll worry about tacking them down. So let me see what else I have. I think maybe this kind of peony floral. All right, I think that's good. Looks good. All right, now I'm going to worry about what's around here now. So I've already used that floral, so I'm just going to put that to the side. All right, now we've got these lovely clusters, and now I'm going to just kind of, let's see how they will fit. See how our pops of color are now coming. Oh, love this. So I like being able to kind of tuck these around the photo mat. I just use kind of the openings in the petals to kind of hook it on, so to say. All right, so that worked really, really well. And then this one here is a lovely, all right, let's go this one here. I'm not loving how that's hooking on. All right, let's see if there's another one. How's this one? Oh, that one's hooking on much better. Okay, let's bring that over here, and we're going to hook that just, I'm going to go like that. We're going to come back to this one. All right, I think that one is a little too pink. I don't like the little white outline on that one, so I'm just going to say nay to that one. This one here, have I used this one? Yeah, that's that one. All right, and then we want to bring in some of these little white florals. That one I've used already. Look at the beautiful. This is, oh, love that one. So we really want to bring that. I'm wondering if we should, I hope there's another color. Okay. I'm just sorting now. I'm getting what I can work with. I think we need to bring in just a little, put that one over there. We opted, oh, there is more of those, that yellow flower. Awesome. Okay, so we want to bring in that splash of yellow somewhere over here. This rose stem, again, I'm not going to choose this one. This one's got a little white edge on it, so it's not going to follow the rest of my loveliness that's going on here. That's the yellow flowers going here. Okay. Okay, I think I have enough here to work with now. I think, and then those leaves. All right, So let's go ahead and create a lovely kind of cluster now. I'm really going to focus on these kind of pink and purple clusters, all right? So, and then I think I'm going to use more of these yellow flowers. I think that yellow is going to pop. I think it really works. Whoopsie. Let's keep them on. I think that really works as we kind of create this cluster kind of going up on our kind of faux embossed look here. All right, so I'm loving that. And I think this one here I'm going to use on that tag up there. And now I'm just going to insert some florals. I think I'm loving this. All right, so I'm going to start committing to some of this stuff now. All right, so I'm going to start with this here because I really like how this is. And we're going to, where'd my phone adhesives go? There they are. All right, so this is hooked on really nicely. So I'm just going to go in and add a few foam adhesives on the back. I don't want to lose this placement because I really liked how that went on there. All right, on that corner. So pretty. All right, now this is where I'm going to fuss with. Now, where do I want this little tag here? I am wondering. I really did like it up here. And I think I can make it work with this and there, and then we'll do, okay. So I have the little tag up here. I am going to use my ink blending brush. It's a little too stark. We're going to add a little bit of that tint to it, just with whatever color I have on here. And now we've made it the same. All right, so let's put some foam adhesive behind here. And we're going to kind of just put it in this top corner. I brought it down a little bit. And then I have my florals. Again, I'm going to pop this up. All right, and we're going to have that kind of hanging off the edge. And then let's put our word collection kind of underneath there, right? So that works. Little cluster up in the top corner. Okay, is that straight? I think so. Okay, there's that. All right, let's continue working with this one. I still don't like how these are here, so. All right, I'm just going to place it there. Doesn't have to hook onto the photo mat, right? All right, so this one here, I do want it overhanging our photo in that bottom corner. That's that. And then I'm going to pop this one up just slightly to the left and to the bottom of the page. And then we're going to fill in with the additional florals. All right, so we've got a nice kind of flow of florals here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab these ones here. And do I want to pop this one up? This one I'm going to go flat. And this one's going to hang off the edge. So once I have that down, then I'm going to work in my golden hour here. I'm going to move this. The beauty of these fine stems is that you can manipulate them and move them. All right, so there's that. This I do want to pop up. So let's grab some foam strips. I always think when you add foam on and give your lay out some dimension here and there. It just really adds to it. So maybe a little finicky, but it does look pretty awesome when it's done. All right, and we'll put that one there. Okay. It's always the last one that gives you troubles. Okay, there we go. And we're going to kind of fit this in amongst those little petals and leaves. All right, that looks lovely. All right, and then I think we need a little splash of color here. And I think I might just go with the yellow there. And we're gonna, I'm popping this up, and then we'll put a leaf. So I'm gonna have this so it's on the page. I don't want to trim any of this one off. All right, and then we'll put a leaf in there. All right, so this little white one, we might place somewhere else. All right. Okay, so let's fill in the gaps here now with some of the excess florals that we have. So we've got, all right, this one we're going to tuck underneath. Now, they don't need to all connect. We can have gaps in between them. So this here, I want to kind of tuck, and then this leaf is going to go on top. And then I think I'm going to pop that one up, and that's going to finish that top piece with the florals, and then we just have a few little leaves we can tuck in. All right, so we're just going to tuck this, but this one is popped up. All right, so it's going to give that little yellow pop of color. Oh, so pretty. It looks really nice on the camera. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's work our way down here. And let's see, this one here, do we want, this one's a little big, I think. Okay, so this one's gonna go, we're gonna tuck this one underneath here. And then our pop of yellow is going to come right in here. And again, we're gonna pop this one up. All right, we're going to commit because it's stuck there. All right, that is looking so, so pretty. All right, we have this little pink floral. Do we want to add? Just see. Do we want to tuck it in there? I'm not sure if I love it there. What about this little purple flower? I think that one's going to look nice underneath there. And this one here, why don't we tuck in there? Just to give some different levels of florals, these little clusters. All right, there's that. I feel like I need to bring in this other purple flower here because we have it there. So I am wondering, I'm going to trim this in two. All right, so in between, you can see that you can definitely, okay, that one. I'm just going to, I'm going to cut it and then I'm going to show you what I did. All right, so this here and this here, all right, that's where I'm going to clean up that edge there. This one here, I am going to round it because we got this miscellaneous stem kind of just, you know, where does it go? And if we just trim that off, now we've got this lovely floral. All right, so no one knows except for me and all of you that are watching. All right, so now this is going to kind of bring in this floral. And I think if we have that there and then this over here, it's going to tie it all in. All right, now it's bringing in that kind of purple flower. So that worked out well. I don't have to worry about trimming the edge, the cut edge on this one, because it's going to be tucked behind. Okay, so tuck, tuck, tuck. Okay, I'm just going to trim the stem on this one, put a little glue, and then we're going to tuck this behind here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, I don't think we need to do much more. I might just grab a few leaves here. That one's going to come down from there. This is just all filler now. And then we're going to grab another one of these, and I need a leaf to come down from this guy here. So is this going to be the one though? I guess that will work. And we're going to just trim off the excess. And this one really doesn't need one, but should we add one anyways? I don't think we need to. No, I think it's going to be just a little too much there. Okay. I think we are good. All right, so let me just trim off the excess here. And just going to take a look. Now, if you wanted to fill in this void, you could, all right? That would be a perfect spot for journaling, all right? And you could journal right on the page if you wanted, because you have that kind of little page with script on it already. So it would make it really kind of cool that you did that. The other thing you could do is take the same piece as this one and cut that piece out and layer it and pop it for journaling. If you wanted to, you could add another photo, all right? But I don't know if that one's a little too big. All right, we should have tucked that then behind this one, but I think it's a little too much for a photo. If you wanted to put a smaller one, I think that's a little bit more manageable, but I'm going to keep it blank there. And now I'm going to kind of take a look at what else I have in here that I can add. I really like these arrows, but I just don't think they match the whole feel of this, so we're not going to worry about that. But there are dragonflies, there are beetles, and I think there's a butterfly in here as well. So the dragonfly actually is really, really pretty. It's got blue and green tones in there. We could do a dragonfly. We could do a bumblebee to bring in those yellow tones. And I don't think I want to do the butterfly. I think it's a little too wispy. Well, it is pretty though, isn't it? Oh, decisions. Do we want the beetle in there? I don't think I want the beetle. I'm going to say no to the beetle. I'm wondering if we should just put clusters of florals down here, just because I have. I'm just wondering if that one. All right, I think I'm going with the dragonfly. I really like the look of the dragonfly. But now, where do we put it? I think I'm going to put it right on top of the golden hour. So I'm just going to actually glue the body, all right? And I'm going to tuck it underneath here just ever so slightly. So his wings are not going to affect the actual word or title. I'm going to let that tack down. All right, then we can fold that up. I think that looks pretty. And then maybe I'll do this little floral down here just to kind of finish it off. And that, my friends, is a quick and simple layout that's quite effective and quite beautiful, just using a few of the die cuts. I mean, it looks like there's a whole lot, but there's not. And that's going to house 3 pictures. Look how lovely that is. All right. Now, if you, like I said, wanted to make this into a double page layout, not going to do it, but I'm going to give you suggestions. All right. I would then take the piece that we cut off, that little strip, and I would tint that. Let me just move my things over here. I would tint that, all right, so that you've got that same thing. And then I would take, this is the one that I use a die cut from. Then you could actually put another strip of that on this side here, all right? So this was a 2-inch strip. What did I cut it as? I can't remember now. It is a 2-inch strip. So you could actually do a 2-inch strip and then just glue them together on this side. Again, tint it. And now you could put more photos on this one. Or you could use this as your left-hand side. All right. You could take this piece here and continue on that. And then you would then kind of put this piece on there. Again, you would tint this one. And then I would create this kind of cluster of florals in the middle here. But now you could go in and add more photos on this side if you chose to create that double page look. All right. So just some suggestions on making this a double page. But for this evening, it's just a single page, everyone. But working with the Uniquely Creative is so simple and so awesome when you get the collection pack and the creative cuts. Really, that's all you really need. But there's always extra little bits and pieces like that leaf die cut, which adds a little bit of texture in the background, which I love, and just a little bit of ink. All right, so that is it for me this evening. It's a quick one, but I hope you enjoyed this evening's What's Up Wednesday using Floral Archives from Uniquely Creative to create a really simple but effective page. All right, everyone, that is it for me. So have yourself a great night, and we shall talk to you soon.